So my entire focus today has been on Jack and Lily's case. When I realised that, having started on the Mackenzie Shriller case, I should actually be spending some time each day focusing on that. But sometimes things just happen that way. And in this instance, there is something that I think is some major leakage from Daniel that I wanted to jump on straight away and do a video about while it's fresh in my mind, and also just to get the idea out there for people to see or people to hear. Now, before I launch into it, I am just going to ask, if you are viewing this and you like my content, please hit that like button and help me get this out there into the algorithm. Okay, so the bit of audio that I'm going to play comes from Charmaine's channel. It comes from when Daniel was talking to Charmaine several weeks ago, back at the beginning of May. And the topic of conversation that came up was this blue blanket that was found during the Please Bring Me Home search back in October, November, whenever it was, last year. So it was that blue blanket that was found with a women's top wrapped inside it and a bath mat. So one of the people that was on there with Charmaine decided to ask Daniel about this. But basically the question was, is the bath mat yours? That's all the question was. But Daniel gave a really lengthy response. And there was something really significant in this response that I think needs to be addressed. So let's listen to the audio first and go from there.
Not this last search, but when Belinda found the blue blanket and the sweater and the bath mat, we determined that, and we were able to figure out who the sweater and the blanket belonged to, but not the bath mat. Did you guys own a blue bath mat and have it in your trailer the night that the kids went missing? Or well,
No, we did not. And when that was brought to my attention, and I get messages about it, and I heard about it, and people tried to accuse me of doing all that stuff. It left a real sour, feeling or taste in my mouth that people continue to think that I'm some evil person and I've been planting evidence, and that's complete bullshit. Like, I never went onto Bradley's property. I never took his kids' sweaters or whatever they were. I don't know anything about the bath mat, and I brought this to investigators, and they said, like, as they usually do, Daniel, it's all bullshit. We know it wasn't you. We know you're not doing that shit. Like, sorry for my language, but we know you don't. We know you're not doing that. Like, and it would be foolish for us to even entertain it. That's why the RCMP didn't want any of that as evidence, because they just see the absolute bullshit. Sorry for my language again. The absolute bullshit that surrounds a lot of this case. And there's been so many people that came out and talked, and it's provided no clarity or anything.
So the simple question was, do you know anything about the bath mat? Well, Daniel launched from that and gave quite a lot of information. Now, I think on one hand we could say, well, he's just offered up a whole heap of crap, well, not crap, but a whole heap of stuff that suggests a major sensitivity. But when I listen to the way he's talking about it, in terms of saying he never went onto Bradley's property, he never took his kids' sweaters or whatever they were, and he doesn't know anything about the bath mat, that sounds like a fairly reliable denial to me. But then he just has to continue on, and he just keeps going on. And he just keeps going on, 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 and he just keeps at a tangent. So I don't think that the bath mat or the sweater or the blanket have anything to do with Daniel. But I am aware that at the time when they were discovered, there was so much speculation over them being planted. And one of the ideas that was thrown around, and it's something that I kind of said in passing as well, which I don't think it really would have happened, but could he have planted those things just to basically amuse himself, to give the searchers something to find that was totally unrelated to the case? But the thing is, those items were found in an area that wasn't meant to be searched. Before the search, it had actually been announced that they were going to be searching the waterways. You can bet that Daniel and his family had paid attention to that information. In fact, you had Wayne Mackenzie clearly listening out for people on his property, because the group that basically went where they weren't meant to be, as soon as he heard them, he was there in their face, basically getting angry with them. It's my belief that if Daniel was going to plant something like that, he would make sure he planted it somewhere that it would be found. So I really don't think that it was, and his denial sounds fair enough. I never went on Bradley's property. I never took his kids' sweaters or whatever, so he didn't even know what the thing was. And I don't know anything about the bath mat. Fairly succinct. So I want to talk about the rest of the stuff that came out in relation to this. So what he's trying to do here is use an instance where he's not been involved at all to highlight this sort of accusations that people make against him, to try and give the impression that all the accusations that are made against him must therefore be false. So there's a lot of gaslighting about it, and, you know, how stupid the accusations are. So essentially, you know, it was brought to his attention, he's getting all these messages about it, and people were trying to accuse him. So you can see there's a sensitivity there, and we do know that one of the things that was discussed was, could Daniel have been involved? And of course you get the twits like Vodka Man and Unbalanced Man, who love to take any angle that's going to bully a person, whether it's factual or not. I mean, I just ignore those channels these days because they don't know how to find factual information. They don't know how to do their own research. So, you know, when I think of the channels that are out there, I would imagine that those two channels were probably making those sort of accusations just to get the clicks and views. And of course there would have been a lot of discussion on Facebook, because some of those Facebook groups are just off the chain completely. So basically what Daniel's done here is highlight these accusations that are being made about something that appears to be something he's not involved in, to act as like a overall denial. You know, why would I do such a thing like that? And it leaves a sour taste in my mouth to be accused of these things. Of course, the irony is that he still maintains that someone from Malaya's family planted the evidence of the piece of blanket in Lansdowne Road. And it seems that he's got other people to push that narrative for him. Now, he probably should have stopped there and let the conversation move on to something else. Because basically what he said after that was some major guilty leakage. And it's something that a lot of people probably missed. So again, he does the whole thing of, you know, I'm such good buddies with investigators, and I spoke to them about it because, you know, they're my good friends, so I spoke to them about my concerns. And then he gives the usual story of, you know, I took it to investigators, and as they usually do, they said, you know, Daniel, we know it wasn't you. we know you're not doing that stuff. And he's using his own version of that, of course. And then he's trying to say, and they said, we know you're not doing that. But of course his brain has to sabotage it because he knows that this conversation with the RCMP never happened. So he says, we know you don't no, you're not doing that, So he's stumbling around his words there. Because, seriously, is this sort of conversation ever going to happen between him and the RCMP? Not a chance. It's like when he says, I offered them my phone again, I offered to do polygraphs again, and they said, look, Daniel, that's just not necessary. And then he throws in, and it would be foolish for us to even entertain it, which is, supposedly what they told him. If there was any conversation about these items that were collected, I would say the only conversation that would have occurred would be, well, these items aren't admissible as evidence because they were opened up to be photographed by an individual, and then they were also taken from the location and transported by another individual. Meaning, by the time they got to the RCMP, who didn't want them in the first place, they'd been handled by two separate individuals, one of whom had completely opened them up just to take photos to share on social media. Anyway, I discussed the blanket at length back in November, so it's not something that I really need to go back into here. What I want to look at here is Daniel's statements. So he's first of all established that, it made him feel bad that people are making this accusation. And then he offers up but RCMP have reassured me. So just trying to give the impression that, hey, look, see, they don't look at me as a suspect. It made me feel bad, but they reassured me. And it's also throwing crap on the people who did accuse him, essentially. Saying, hey, look, you guys are bad for doing this because even RCMP aren't interested. But what he said next was possibly one of the most significant bits of leakage from Daniel that we've had for quite some time. So he gives this big spiel about how the RCMP said to him, we know it wasn't you. We know you're not doing that stuff. It'd be foolish for us to even entertain it. And he follows up with, that's why the RCMP didn't want any of that as evidence. Now, you can see that his goal in all this is to gaslight people who do make accusations against him, because he goes on to talk about, the absolute crap that surrounds this case and all the people that come out and say stuff and, taking the focus away from Lily and Jack, because he's learnt that from other content creators who've spoken about the drama and have said, all this drama is taking the focus away from Lily and Jack. So he's learnt, he's a good student when it comes to listening to content creators and adapting his stories, adapting his behaviours based on what he hears. But in this attempt to gaslight people for criticising him for suggesting involvement in the case, he's actually not realised what it is that he has said. Essentially, he's admitted guilt without realising that that's what he was doing. So, on one hand, first of all, he's admitted that the RCMP are still investigating him. And I'll get around to fully explaining that. Because what he's doing here is he's just been bending over backwards to assure people that, the bit of blue blanket and stuff, that investigators have assured him that they know it's got nothing to do with him. And they know that he's not doing that and he didn't plant that. And he follows through by saying that's why they didn't want it as evidence. He's got no idea what he's done. But basically, he's said that the RCMP are saying it's not linked to the investigation because they don't believe it's linked to Daniel. Daniel always prioritises finding ways to gaslight anyone who criticises him, trying to find ways to gaslight anyone who suggests his involvement in the disappearance of the children, and of course trying to discredit anyone who suggests his involvement in the disappearance of the children. And that's what he was focused on here. He wanted to basically make all these people that suggested any connection between him and the blue blanket look like imbeciles. But in trying to do so, he's basically said, yeah, the RCMP can't connect it with me anyway at all. You know, they're saying that they don't believe that I had anything to do with that blue blanket, so they don't want it. It's not evidence against me, so it's not important for the case. I mean, it's a classic situation with Daniel. He will look for any way possible to plead innocence. In this instance, that was by claiming, well, RCMP have said they know you didn't have anything to do with this blue blanket. We know you didn't plant it. And he's trying to throw that out to discredit people for suggesting it, because in his mind that discredits them from any suggestions about him. So he wasn't focusing at all on what he was admitting at the same time, because he has essentially admitted guilt. You know, RCMP said, we know the blanket's got nothing to do with you, so we don't want it. Ergo, we're still investigating you, Daniel. We're looking for evidence to prove that you are responsible for what happened. We don't think that blanket has any connection to you, so, yeah, we don't want it. Now, obviously, none of this conversation happened between him and the RCMP. This is a fabricated conversation that he's made up for the sake of gaslighting people who criticise him, who point these things out. And in doing so, he's just shot himself in the foot big time. Good work, Daniel.